have a confession and 20 eyewitnesses.
Knife wounds all over the place.
The drug test is clear. No history of mental illness.
We got everything except for why. Did you hear her say anything?
It's like she was someone else.
You didn't try to stop her.
The mind plays tricks. You see things that aren't there.
Tell us anything, whatever you can.
I think there's something wrong with me.
Hello.
Yeah, so please welcome to the stage Jessica Biel.
Hello.
Have a seat.
Hi.
And we just watched episode 1. Everyone is here. I want to quickly touch on the actual murder scene because I saw the whole audience squirm and bite their nails and do all sorts of things. Is that the normal reaction that you get from this?
Yeah, I haven't watched this show with like many big audiences before, you know.
Really?
Well, it's rare, I think, to have a television show that you get to screen like this. It's new. Like, you know, it just went to the Tribeca Film Fest last year, but that's a new thing. You know, usually they're bringing films there. You're not usually bringing shows there. So I haven't seen this more than a few times with a larger crowd. But yes, it's always a bit of a cringe moment because it comes out of nowhere, which is the idea, right? Is the idea that this person is just kind of blacking out and having this sort of a attack almost. And yeah, everybody cringes and it's over really fast, which is kind of another part of the whole idea that when violence occurs in life, it doesn't always have this long dramatic experience. It's like boom and it's done and no one even knows what's happened.
So what was the impetus to screen it at festivals? Because you said it's a new thing, right?
Well, for the festival, it's a new thing. I mean, I think only the year we were, which was last year, so the year before that, I feel like that's the first time that Tribeca Film Festival started screening shows. So for the film festivals, I believe it's kind of a new thing. So when you're doing a TV show and then you get to go to a film festival, first of all, it's kind of surprising and exciting, and then you go and you see the show that you've been making, but you've never expected to see it on a huge screen. You expect it to just be on TV. Small, you know?
These are just big TVs.
I know, but
That's
it's different. It just seems different somehow.
Does that mean that you filmed the pilot a long time ago and then you just picked up 2 through 8 recently? Yeah,
not too long ago. We filmed it in the fall. I think it was the fall.
So I guess what I'm asking is normally, you know, you film a pilot, it gets greenlit, you have to screen it and whatnot, see if there's interest, and then it may or may not ever air. Did you go into it knowing you would make the full 8 episodes?
No, we did what you just said. So we developed the material. We got a writer on board, Derek Simons, who then wrote the pilot and wrote the Bible for what the show would look like, not necessarily how many episodes it would be, because we didn't quite know. It can change when you eventually sell it to the right place, and they kind of have a lot of opinions about, you know, is it 8? Is it 10? Is it like a 2-hour thing 2 nights in a row? You know, whatever. So we wrote the pilot, and then we pitched it around, and USA was interested, and so they basically, that's when they bought. So then they gave us the money to film the pilot.
Money's important.
That's what we needed, right? Money is important sometimes. And then we showed them the pilot, and then they picked up the rest of the season.
Wow.
So it's possible we would have just shot the pilot and no one ever saw it again.
Huh. Because I was reading 2 through 8. This is an 8-part miniseries for those of you who don't figure out what I was talking about already. You know what the end will be. You know you're not going to a season 2, right? Or will you?
No, not necessarily.
Ooh.
Well, I mean, television is so cool. Like, the idea was sort of like could be anthology series. So you could, I mean, what we want to do with season 1 is we will close the case, okay? So you're not going to be season 2 going, oh, I still have to wait get the answer. We're going to close out this case and you're going to understand what happened. We're going to give you all the answers. Season 2, you know, if Bill is interested, Bill Pullman I'm talking about, obviously, he can take on a new case. And, you know, I don't want to give away what the ending's going to be, but there is a possibility that maybe my character could be involved in some way. But I don't think that's really giving away much necessarily.
Well, we know
also,
we know that you're involved in this case.
Yes, I'm definitely involved in this case, but or you know you could recast the whole thing, like
True Detectives.
right, or American Horror Story, you know, just or put characters in other positions.
So you
could do a lot of things.
Yeah, and you would be interested in that from the executive producer standpoint.
Well, yeah.
Not from the acting standpoint.
Well, from both, but I mean, definitely from the producer standpoint, I would love my actors to come back for the second season.
So this is the first time. Is this the first time you've executive produced anything, or is this an old hat for you?
Well, I produced a film with my producing partner Michelle Purple and my small little tiny company called Iron Ocean just this past year called The Book of Love. We produced a small short film. And so this is my first television producing.
And how is it different for you starring in it and producing it?
Well, it's just kind of double duty, you know. I have to wear a couple of hats, but definitely when I'm working on set, on the days I'm working on set, we have a really good team around us. Like I mentioned before, my producing partner Michelle, and Charlie Gogolak is another one of our producers. There's a lot of support there, so they're kind of managing the day-to-day producerial stuff, and I can kind of focus on the creative stuff. Producerial.
I like that.
It's a hard job. I'm not great at it, to be honest with you. I'm very good, and I like the creative producing. I want to talk to writers. I want to talk to actors. I want to character develop, story arc, character arc. I want to do that kind of producing, and then my partner has to do all the horrible stuff.
That seems like the best.
It works out for me.
Worlds. Yeah. I want to quote you for a second. You said, "I've never gotten to do a romantic comedy like most of the girls. Maybe because I'm fit, people assume I'm not funny."
I said that?
I
don't think I said that.
That's what the internet said. I googled it.
Well, the internet is always right.
I googled it.
Okay, let's go with it.
Did you say? Okay, so
I'm fit. Therefore, I'm not funny.
Okay.
That's what it says. No, don't repeat it, please, God. I beg you. Anyway, let's keep going. I know where you're going with this.
So this is a very dramatic role, very serious. Chainsaw Massacre, Seventh Heaven. You were in the Third Blade with Wesley Snipes.
Yeah.
All of these are not funny roles.
You're right.
They're not even air quotes, but funny roles. They're actually not funny. Do the roles seek you out, or do you seek out the roles?
You know, this is a very good question, because when you put it on paper like that, I'm like, what is wrong with me? Why am I wanting to scare everybody and be serious all the time? Because I'm really not that serious of a person, actually. So I don't know. I think it must be a little bit of both somehow. I mean, I really like, you know what it is? I like to be scared, and I like to watch dramatic things. I think maybe that's what it is. So if there's a cool piece of material, I'm just looking at it as if it's something that I would watch, and then maybe I would want to be in it or something. Maybe that's
So you don't watch anything funny?
Well, see, that's not true either. I mean, I watch more dramatic stuff, but of course I love to laugh.
Right.
I'm getting really insecure about this about myself. I think I need to change something about my life.
All right, then I will co-write a comedy, and you will.
Please,
yeah, okay,
thank you.
Okay, you'll be first on my list.
I hope so.
So there's a tie-in, obviously, with the book that is sitting here with your picture on it. Yeah, have you seen this?
I have seen that. I think that looks pretty cool. I never thought I'd be on the cover of a book before.
Yeah?
Well, I mean, it's a little random, no?
Well, if you
it's really cool.
produce something based on a book, yeah.
I know, but do you see people on books very often? I don't. Are you on a book?
No, me? No.
Okay, I thought you'd be like, well, I'm on a book, so.
No, well, yeah, I'm on 6 books, but who cares about that? Books about how to interview badly.
I think this is going quite well.
Oh, thank you.
Well, I don't know.
All right.
Maybe I'm off.
We got a few lulls, so we're okay. The filming, the series takes place in upstate New York, right? Did you film there, or where did you film all the different episodes?
Well, we filmed our pilot in Charleston, South Carolina, which was so cool. What a great place to to spend some time. But we did that because we could sort of fake upstate New York at that time. I mean, listen, the foliage is very different, but we managed to fake it a little bit. We were dealing with a time in the year issue, and obviously you could see I was in the water a decent amount. And we were really worried about being upstate New York I think it was October. It was October we were filming, so we thought, that's a little tricky, a little dicey, you never know. Could be like iced over and frozen. It's possible. So we filmed the pilot there, and then everything else, we're still filming. I have to go back to work tomorrow. I have a day off today to hang out with you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, this is your day off.
This is my day off.
Yeah.
But I am not like crying and sad and miserable, which is basically what I am a lot on this show. So
We're not done with the
good for
interview
me.
yet.
I know,
don't
that's
worry.
true.
Yeah.
I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yes.
So the rest of the episodes, the rest of the 7 will be shot here. And we're working here in a lot of places upstate, kind of Nyack area and other surrounding areas.
So the city that the story is set in, totally fictional?
No, it's not totally fictional. I think it could be like New Paltz. Is that fictional place? I thought that was an actual real place.
It's real?
Thank you.
Okay.
You look at me like I'm crazy.
I've never heard of it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I look at it like I've never heard of the name.
It's supposed to be a place like New Paltz, right up, little upstate, smallish. I've never actually spent much time in that particular place, so I don't know how small. I don't want to talk out of turn here, but kind of like every place, kind of a place. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like could find this sort of town across the country.
It's interesting. You said every place, kind of a place, but I feel like there are specific characters, types of people that we see and hear that exist in all of these every places. Like there's the crazy religious family, and then the your small town shop owners and whatnot. So I think it was it a conscious decision to kind of set the story in a place like this to enhance the characters or enhance the story, or does one kind of beget the other?
That's a good question. I believe, since this is a German book, a German writer originally, I know it was set in Germany somewhere. So I think we were trying to find a place that would serve as the right town in the States for, I don't know, kind of like a place that could have a character of its own in a sense. I feel like upstate kind of has that feeling of, I don't know, there could be a lot of bubbling, simmering things going on underneath, which is sort of what we're talking about in this show a little bit,
Yeah.
Kind of like from the outside, things are looking one way, and then when you look a little deeper, you're seeing something else. I'm not trying to like bag on upstate, like there's some weird stuff going on there, but that's true everywhere.
We know there is.
This idea of like presenting ourselves in a certain way, and maybe that's not necessarily 100% true.
I totally agree with you. I grew up in a small town in North Carolina, so same mountain chain, same culture, just different areas.
There you
but
go.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. So as executive producer, did you help with any of the casting of the show? Or did you have any?
Yes,
Yeah?
all of it. It's actually been an amazing experience. And because I am usually on the other side of it, and I'm the one putting myself on tape or going in for the audition and sending, having to send these tapes that you make at home that you're like so embarrassed about. You're like, oh, this is horrible. The lighting's bad. You're by yourself reading with, somebody who can't read lines because it's like your mom, and just like the whole thing's bad. I have such a love and respect for the people that have auditioned for this show, because of being on the other side. It's just so intense. I know what they're going through, and I know how hard it is, and that process has been super cool. I just have a different take on a reading, on the creative performance part of it than say some of my other producers or even our creator or our director at the time. So
Right.
it's been amazing, and I love being part of that part of it.
Yeah, I guess now that you've seen what it's like on the other side, has that changed how you're approaching new roles? Are you even entertaining new roles yet, or are you still working on finishing this one?
I've read a couple of things, but now that we're sort of in the last stretch of the filming, it is, I mean, it's like a cluster some days, you know, it's just everything's kind of piling on top of itself. So I haven't really looked at anything seriously, or there hasn't really been anything that I'm really, really excited about. So I've been focused.
No comedies.
No. Not on purpose, though.
Right.
But the whole, you know, I think it's changed my perspective. It just made me mad. You know, I'm like, oh, I don't want to do another audition because they're going to do what I'm doing when I'm watching the audition tape is like, oh, this person is so good, but, you know, because when you're like, no, buts, just hire me. I'm great. Trust me. I can be great for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
And with that note, we have mics in the aisles. If any of you have questions for Jessica, line up and we can get to those. You are a mom now. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Yes. Silas is 2.5?
Almost 2.5, yeah.
Oh, that's
doing some change.
A great age, isn't it?
It is and it isn't.
Yeah.
It can be really great and then it can be really terrible.
Yeah. I got a 2.5-year-old. I feel you.
Oh, okay.
Has being a mother in real life influenced how you've approached the character of Cora here in The Sinner?
I think just inherently, yes, it has to, because now I'm going to have an actual understanding of what that relationship is. You know, if I didn't have a kid, yeah, of course you can, you know, evoke as many feelings as you can possibly, you know, build up in your body to understand what that feels like. But it will never compare to the actual feeling of it and the actual doing of it, you know, being a parent every day. And it's like the best research ever, just having to, you know, exist with your kid every day to understand what it would be like, you know, like if a person does this kind of a thing that she does, the trickle effect for her life, specifically like what happens to her and her family and her kid and her relationship. Does she ever see him again? You know, like these are big questions when somebody does something like this. So I have a lot of emotions that come up for me when we shoot stuff and when we, you know, deal with the mom-child relationship, because like if I couldn't see my kid again, I would not make it. You know, I would just die on the floor right here.
Right. Yeah, I hear you.
You know.
Question over here.
Hi, Jessica.
Hi.
It looks great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It looks really awesome.
Thanks.
I'm really excited to watch it. So you're here, House of YouTube, and obviously there's a lot of places where people can get kind of amazing premium content like this. How do you, either as an actress or executive producer, you've been in the business a long time, how do you see marketing different nowadays than it's been in the past, because people have so many options? Love your thoughts either as an actress or executive producer.
I mean, you're right, it's changed so much. I think when I was younger and we really didn't have this kind of access or these kind of platforms, it just, everything was dependent on, you know, the studio or the network, and they did everything. And you didn't do anything as one of the creative people. You just kind of did what they told you to do, and, you know, you would go do like an interview or you do a magazine cover, and like that was kind of it. It was very simple. And now I feel so much more involved. I'm talking to USA all the time. We're like collaborating on, well, what am I going to post? What are you guys posting? How can we push the marketing campaign, you know, with my personal help, with my personal platforms, with their platforms? It's so it's very much more of like a community thing now, and it's really nice because you feel like you have a hand in helping it get out there. And I guess that means you also have a hand in if it fails, that nobody cared and all the stuff you did, like, it didn't matter, but at least you're part of it. I feel much more a part of it from the creative side. And I guess from the producerial standpoint, as much help as you can get, you know, to get the word out, for people to be talking about your material or talking about your show is only helpful. So it's been nothing but positive, I think, when it comes to marketing, in my experience.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, pleasure.
Yeah.
Hi there.
Hi.
This is something I've always wondered about. what exactly, how does it, are you reading something at home and you're just to yourself, I really like this, I'm gonna make this into a movie, or what exactly is the process that you get, source material when it does come from a book or something like that to be turned into, a television show or a movie? How did that work with this book, and how does that work in general?
Sure. Bless you. For this book, I just started reading, and like a couple chapters in, I just was really interested and really intrigued, and then continued on and kept calling my partner Michelle and saying, "Have you made it to chapter whatever yet? You got to get there. It's really good. Whoa, this went in a direction I didn't think that it was going to go in." And this is a different experience because the material was already owned by UCP, so it wasn't a situation where I had to reach out and try to get the rights, which we've done multiple times before. Honestly, I will look at a cover of something and go, "This looks interesting. Somebody call about the rights." Like that fast, because the rights are just gone. Especially if it has any sort of notoriety in the literary world or anything at all. If it's on anybody's list, if it's on Oprah's list, forget it, it's gone. Literally, I want to be like talking to authors who haven't published yet, when their books are, on the way, in their third, fourth, fifth, whatever drafts. That's when you want to be snatching up material. So this was a little bit different because UCP was bringing it to me. I had the opportunity to jump on board, right away, which I did. And yeah, it's just about your interest. Like, do you like it? Is it fun? Is there a good character here? Is it interesting? Is it compelling? It's kind of as simple as that, at least in my experience.
Thank you.
UCP is Universal Cable Productions? Is that what it is?
Yes, UCP,
yeah.
yep.
All right. Over here?
Sorry, I should have said that.
Yeah.
All right. As a proud owner of Blade Trinity, I feel like that actually qualifies as a comedy at some points.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
But as Jason was sort of alluding to before about this new era of marketing and distribution and access points, and TV ratings might not be the best way to qualify what is a good show and a bad show, or a successful show and not one. I'm curious how, as your first foray into TV, second, I guess, Seventh Heaven counts.
Thank you. Also, sometimes a comedy.
Don't look at me.
How are you looking to gauge success for The Sinner in this new world of content?
This is a very good question. I'm nervous about this because I'm a kind of a viewer that likes to binge. So I want my stuff when I want it, as opposed to having to wait week by week. So I don't know how to gauge it, honestly. I don't know what to expect for Wednesday night. And if we have kind of not so good numbers, like you said, it doesn't necessarily mean that the show would not have a good viewership or following. It may not necessarily mean that we won't have a second season, but I still have a bit of an old school feeling about it, like, oh, well, if we don't get good numbers, then I guess we'll probably get canceled, or we won't get a second season. I think we have to. I think we're going to have to wait when it can be streamed to really see what the legs of the show, what it's going to be, because I don't know. I want it when I want it, like most people do. So it'll be really interesting to see what happens. And I think I have to remember to not just take the numbers on Wednesday, as truth, and that's it. Because you're right, it's so different now.
Do you watch yourself? You're gonna watch it be one of the extra Nielsen numbers?
I don't know. I mean, I'll turn my television on for sure. I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet. I see my films, but I've watched this so many times. I've seen these cuts a lot. Mm-hmm. I don't think I'm going to have like a viewing party or anything. I don't know. I haven't really thought about it.
Interesting. I don't know if that would be weird or not to watch yourself on TV. Maybe the first time. I'm sure you binged all of Seventh Heaven, but you're probably over
all
it
of
now.
it. Oh yeah. I just constantly go back to the beginning and just
Yeah. One more question here.
Hi, Jessica. I was wondering, who's your favorite actor you've worked with?
Favorite actor?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good question.
Your husband?
Have we worked together in that capacity? Have we?
I don't know.
I don't think so. He's really good, though. I've had the pleasure of working with a lot of great people. I think, Bill Pullman and Chris and everyone we're working with, this has been amazing, so much fun. I also really loved working on The Illusionist with Ed Norton and Paul Giamatti. Those two guys, I mean, they just blew me away. They're so nice and so talented. I mean, everyone I've worked with has been amazing in their own right, but I would say maybe those two, I really enjoyed.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Hey, so you know how when you base something off a book, like be it a movie or a TV show, inevitably there are going to be some changes. Like usually the plot gets different, or some things are being cut, or some things are being added. And so I guess 2 questions. Firstly, how loosely did you base it off the book? Like, is it very accurate, or did you like get a lot of like creative license with it? And secondly, how do you make those decisions? Like, how do you decide what is in and what is not, and what to add?
Right, good questions. So we stick pretty closely to kind of the main real threads of this book. This book kind of lives in 2 worlds, a present time and a past. And so there's these threads that we're kind of following, and we take some creative liberties, I think, mainly with the characters. I don't even know if you call it creative liberties. We just developed them in a different way. Maybe a little bit more thoroughly in some ways, a little bit broader in other ways. Took some like really acute ideas of these characters and expanded it a little bit. But we stick pretty closely to the main big plot points. For example, the Ambrose character, Bill Pullman's character, he's much different in our show than he is in the book. Cora.
Did you write him that way, or did Bill choose to take it that way?
We wrote it that way. I think me and my producers and our creator, Derek Simons, who's an incredible writer and developer, he really saw that Ambrose character needed more behind it, needed to like really flush out this person for television, So he took that liberty and changed that character. The second question was, can you remind me?
Yeah, how do you go about making the decisions?
Making the decisions. That's a tough one because you obviously want to keep the skeleton and the real like the flavor, the language of the book, because you're optioning this material for a reason. But the formats are so different, right? You can sit and read, you could read this book for days and days and days and just like slowly get chunks and be very happy with it. Whereas what we're trying to do is keep your attention, keep an audience's interest for, I think it's 42 minutes with commercials, short attention spans. We have to kind of drop little nuggets along the way to keep you interested and keep you going. So we really have to cut things and add things to keep that in mind, to keep the suspense moving. Whereas, you could read a book and it's just like interesting and romantic and atmospheric, but like nothing really happens for a while and you're cool with it. That doesn't work, obviously, in television. But the main person who's making these decisions is Derek, our writer-creator. And we're trusting him to know that this is the best way to handle, all of these interweaving storylines, arcs, themes, past, present, time. It's very complicated what we've been having to do, and how he's been doing it has been quite an amazing feat. So hopefully you will agree.
Cool. We are actually short on time. I know you have to get
okay.
going. So is your quick question over here? Got time for one more?
Hopefully.
Okay, yeah.
So we already started to touch on this briefly. Are you ever sitting at your house looking at a source material and you and Justin just like look at each other and you're like, hey, we should do this together? Or have you talked about it throughout your lives, like we should do this? Or, hey, I'd love for you to kill me in this. Like,
He would probably love that. Yes, all the time. All the time. We are looking, I'm reading something going, you should read this. There's a really interesting character in here for you, or we should, yes, we should try to do something together. What would it be? I always say to him that it would be fun to do something where we're like not playing lovers or not playing like married people, do something completely, I don't know, something not that. I don't know what that would mean.
Comedian assassins.
Yeah, there you go.
That would be fun.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're always looking for that right thing because, why not? Why not work with your best friend, partner person, if you can? But I really think you have to be careful because, we've all seen this go terribly wrong. You know what I'm talking about. There's a few of them that I'm talking about. So it's like, it's a delicate balance of finding the right thing and it being at the right time of your lives. And I don't know, we haven't found it yet. But I hope so. I hope we can. I'd love to work with him. Actually, you know what? We talk a lot about him directing me in something, which I think would be really cool because he's directed a few things, like little things, commercials and different things, and he basically does a lot with his own videos and stuff like that. But I really think he'd be an amazing filmmaker. So I'd love for him to direct me in something. So now it's out there. And he better do it, because I'm the boss of him.
All right, so cool. We have this little Android for you. Thank you for coming in. It's a Talks at Google Android.
Thank you.
Everyone go watch The Sinner this Wednesday, August 2nd on USA, and help me thank Jessica Biel for coming in.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.